Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valerie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, and welcome to the special After Turkey Day Live. Today we are going to be using, I'm trying to carefully open it because I didn't realize these hadn't been opened yet, Pearl Mica powders, pigment powders, and we're going to put them on a special way that hopefully in the end will make things easier. I've picked out a couple of colors, pearl white, gray lavender, and antique silver. Is that the ones I'm going with? Yeah. So these are the colors I've picked out that we're going to use. And then I also have perfect pearls, which is really white, that we might also use those as well. I have my easel angled down to make things easier, and I just need to pop one more lid. Now what we're going to use to put this on is our varnish. In my case, it's polyacrylic, which is water-based. Hey, yes.
You want me to remind you about the water base and the
yes. Yes, I was getting there, but thank you. You need an elf hat.
You didn't even introduce me.
Oh, hubby, I'm sorry, we're joined with hubby.
Dirty Santa.
I'm out of practice, I guess.
Or hubcap.
Hubcap.
You're out of your routine.
Yes, normally on Tuesdays. So I got my hot cocoa, got my penguin.
Ooh. And you're drinking? No.
I haven't even started
well,
yet.
We both are. So.
Haven't even started yet. So what we're going to use is polyacrylic because that's what I'm going to finish my board with anyway. And I'm using gloss. And by mixing the pigment with the varnish, I know it's going to, everything's going to be cohesive and stick. There's one thing you really need to pay attention to when varnishing, that if you say spray on a polyacrylic and then brush on a polyurethane, which is oil-based, that's fine. Oil can go over water. But if you spray, because you've only got polyurethane to spray, which this is not sprayed, but if you're doing that, and then you put polyacrylic water-based brush on top, it will peel off the wood because water does not sit on the oil. So you got to pay attention to how you're doing it. If this is something you want to try, just stick to the same stuff across the board and you won't have to worry about it. Sorry, need a hot cocoa. So what I'm using for a palette, because I am using the varnish, is what I do is sometimes when we get some plastic for a product or whatever, I'll cut it up and I will use this as a palette. So that's being reused. I need to clean it off. I had the mica powder on my fingers. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dribble just a little bit of the polyacrylic on here using a tongue depressor or popsicle stick. And then we're going to add a tad bit of powder to that and mix. And what's going to happen is we've got sparkly varnish. So I need to stir real quick. This is my old can of gloss, small. It's really small. So I'm not going to be painting like the whole thing. So I don't need a whole lot because I don't want to waste it. So I'm going to put that down, and I think we are going to start, pick a color. We got gray lavender and antique silver. I think, because I don't have a light blue like this, and it's not like other color mediums where I could add white to my blue and then make a lighter blue. Let's see here. I think we're going to go with this silver. And all I'm going to do is take a palette knife, a regular knife, whatever you want to use. And I'm going to get a very tiny amount because on this powder, a little goes a long way. So we need to make sure we only get a little, and that's the one that the lid wasn't off. Oops. So I am going to take, as I make a mess. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And even that's too much. I'm going to sprinkle some on the side and then work it in. I think that'll be the easiest way to do this. And then I've got tiny paintbrushes and some silicone, what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. I'll show them in a minute. I've used them for color pencils. So I'm going to take...
Silicone.
I can't remember what they're called.
What are they?
I'll have to show them. Hold on. I got to focus here.
Okay, you focus.
I should have grabbed some toothpicks.
So, yep, Moritz is here.
Hey, Moritz.
I'm sorry, I've been a little distracted getting everything set up. Did you already say hi to everybody?
I did not.
So, Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
And Moritz, you already said that.
Mm-hmm.
Sheila.
Teresa.
Goha.
Goha.
And Josh.
Hey, Joshua.
And that's it so far.
Alrighty, so see, now we have basically a paint. But it's going to dry clear. It is the less powder and the more varnish that we add, it's going to thin it out. And that way, our sparkles will be thinned out. And I'm actually going to dip this in my water and put it to the side. Excuse me. And we are going to take a little paintbrush, and I've got several out. And because this is water-based, I can clean my brushes with water. I don't have to worry about turpentine or anything like that, which makes things easier. Okay, I grabbed it clean. So I've got my silicone pushy things. I can't remember what they're called. They're on the Amazon. And then I've got some different size brushes. I think for now we're going to start with this wider one. That way I can get some bigger areas. So I'm just going to make sure the brush is clean. And oh shoot fire, I can't believe I just did that. Can't believe I just did that. I put my brushes in my in my Mica powder mix.
Uh-oh.
It's alright. We'll live. And I can thin this out a little bit because it is water-based. So basically, it's just making a paint that we know is going to dry clear and it's going to have translucency to it because we don't want to lose the burn. We're highlighting, and I've got a test board just so I can see. The silver may not show up. What is a little big board? I've already got, I shouldn't have been. See, one good thing would have been to seal it. It would be easier to wipe off if I mess up. But it's too cold here right now to do a full-on varnish. So we're just gonna, it's gonna be hard to see, I'm guessing, with the silver. Because it's just going to be sparkly in the light. Let me zoom in. The white, I think, is going to stand out more. So I can actually paint it over the burn as well, carefully. And right now, because it's wet, it's going to look darker. So I just paint it in. And because we're using the same varnish, we know it's going to be glossy. It's going to react the same to the wood as when we go to finish it. And we are more comfortable with how it works. So hopefully, I'll switch over to some white here in a minute so we can see. Right now I'm just kind of getting the under. They're sparkly but not as bright. And give this time to dry a little bit and set. So I'll make the white the same way I made the silver. And in this case, the silver just may not be the best color.
The special coffee is quite good.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
I only have one sip of mine. So
Well, you better get busy.
I know. So I'm just wiping off my palette knife. I dipped it in some water. And I think we're going to need some pretty white. So I'm guessing it would be better to go with the brighter one for right now. Now you can apply this to all your Christmas ornaments. A little bit of powder goes a long, long way. And I just totally, how did I make such a mess? This is why I change shirts. Somehow I got it on my hand.
You know, it's always a given that when I paint, it's going to be a mess.
No, it's not normally for me though.
I accept it. I surrender to it.
Yeah, but that's not normally me.
Spence
I got it
here.
on my hand somehow. Hey, Spence.
He had to walk the dog and wash his hands. So.
See, I do believe they use this Pearl-Ex in like nail polish as well to make it shiny. Because look at that. I just painted my nail. I don't know how I did that. What is it on?
Well, you can paint your nails too.
Yeah, but this is varnish, not nail polish. Yeah, it'll be fine.
It will be fine.
Alright, so I have a lot of powder, and I just realized there's a little bit of silver, but I think we'll be fine. The white should. And see, I can put the Pearl-Ex, I can dust it directly on the wood, but it's might have a little problem adhering. We don't want that. So, alright. Just putting a little bit of varnish, and I think I'll just knock some powder in. And we will do this. And what this is going to...
No, Moritz. No.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
Stir, stir, stir. Let's not make a second mess. Now, I know my white here is pretty old. Let's see if this is a different brand. So it may not break down the same. Now, I do see it kind of becoming more iridescent.
Yeah.
Versus white. And I can use acrylic ink if I need to put white highlights over this. And when I go to finally seal, I will do a spray varnish. Probably the archival first. Though these are light fast, so you don't have to worry about that. Come on, blend, blend. It's kind of chunky. Alright, we're getting whiter now. I can always add more if I need to. Let's see what we look like. That's just water. Maybe the brush will break it down a little bit better. Excuse me. Alright, let's try this again. Now on a dark surface, like if I was putting it on the dark background, it would stand out more. Let's see here. I'm just making a mess with this. I could paint the whole thing and see what happens.
So what is this going to do?
It's just going to give it some sparkle.
So you're not covering it, you're just
Trying not to.
accenting it?
Yeah, I'm not trying to cover it. What I need to do, I'm going to add some of the other Pearl-Ex, the other stuff into it and see if that helps. Because it's definitely not as bright as I'd want it. It's more sparkly than... So I'm going to add some more powder. And if that doesn't work, what I can do is I can take a couple of drops of white ink and drop it in as well. And that will make it opaque, but it'll make it stand out. So that's one thing with white, is if it's not super opaque, it's just not going to be as bright.
No.
Or I can wait till this dries and add some white ink, acrylic ink. Alright, let's try this. Always put your lid back on, because the minute you don't, you'll spill it everywhere. And I've already got a mess somehow. Alright, so I put some of the Pearl-Ex in. And let's see if that works a little bit better. Yeah, actually, that's a little brighter. Yeah, hopefully you can see that. I can see the difference. And I'm making it thicker. And see, here's the thing with water-based varnish. You could add a drop or two of watercolors into your varnish, and it will tint your varnish. Let's see here.
Would you want to do that with oil-based watercolor though?
Oil-based watercolor.
I'm sorry, oil-based varnish.
No, because the water.
What's the matter?
And this is why you seal your piece. Can you see it on camera? I'm making a mess.
Watching you. I mean, but it's hard to tell.
See, if I had the varnish on it, I could just wipe it off with no problem. But the weather isn't going to let me do that right now. Let a cold spell come in. Luckily, we're in the dark. Should I get anywhere else? Because the wood is burnished, it'll wipe off easier. I know this seems like a mess, but I'm not at the best angle to do this. And I realize that now. Normally I'm flat. Alright, so don't mix around your piece. Lesson learned. I just trying to show it on camera. Alright, see, that's much whiter. Have any on that hand? No. Making sure I don't have any on my hand.
Andrea says it's a happy mess.
Yeah, I'm not going to stress about this one. This was meant for fun. But this paintbrush is not as small as I need. So I bought some Trekell brushes that are really thin. Now remember, we do have a bit of a time crunch on this because the polyacrylic will start drying.
How long?
I don't know. We'll find out. I've never done this. My
So
brain thought of it the other day, and I was like, oh, we're going to do it.
So we're learning all this together at the
Yep.
same time.
Never done it before. I've been wanting to add Pearl-X for a long time. Yeah, let's cover it up a little bit. But I hadn't found a piece that I really wanted to do that with. So, but instead of mixing this with something else, the varnish will allow you. And I wouldn't recommend the oil varnish, because the oil-based varnish, because it is harder to clean up. Like right now, I'm just dipping the paintbrush in some water. But if you were doing this with an oil-based varnish, you would have to use mineral spirits to clean your brush. This is just a cleaner way to do it. Quicker.
And that would actually be kind of a pain. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I don't oil paint that much, because the materials involved are somewhat toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And if you absolutely you can't wait to clean stuff. You have to get things cleaned up, otherwise they can.
And again, because this is an acrylic-based varnish, I can dip a little bit of water to thin it out. Make a bigger mess, because that's fun. And this is where I'd already messed up anyway. So let's at this point just see what's going to happen, because it's a real mess. See? Let's see here. Okay, yeah. Alright. It's a good thing I was alright with screwing these up.
Well, I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. So
Bigger mess.
Well, potentially, I guess. But I mean, you wouldn't know unless you did it. So.
Yep, this is definitely a learning. So if you were doing, say, hummingbird wings or insect wings, this would be a great way to do it. You have more control over how much pigment you want versus if you just bought a paint. I do think this would go on better, easier, if I had sealed the wood first. So, even if it was just the UV spray, I think it would have gone better.
Yeah.
Lesson learned. And because this is such a thin brush, I don't want the varnish drying on it. I am cleaning off the brush and then going back in. There we go. So I guess we can do a few arms in this color and then switch over to the purple, because why not? Or add some purple to this and see what happens. And see the silver. Yeah, let's see what happens with the silver. We're just gonna go for it. I'm going to put a little bit of silver. What it's going to do is going to calm down the white, I think.
Teresa says a gold leaf would look nice too, but in small spaces
Yes.
would be intense.
Yep. It would be easier to apply with gold ink. Excuse me, versus leaf. The leaf can be a real pain in the butt. Inexpensive to apply. But if you get a gold leaf, gold ink, which you guys have seen me use in the past,
Yeah.
it's much easier to apply. But it's not going to look like gold leaf, burnished gold leaf. I may need a little bit more on my paintbrush. I'm trying to avoid the burning, but that is not going well. At all. Let's try the silicone blenders. The acrylic should clean off of that really easy, which is why I grabbed them. Alright, let's see if I can do a better.
Teresa says, yeah, that's a good tip. Thank you.
I'm going to try, this is just the silicone. I can't think what they're called. They're on my Amazon. Let's find a line to do.
The brush you're using now is silicone?
It's not a brush. It's
Well, it looks like one, but it's got a silicone rubber tip.
yeah, this is silicone rubber tip.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called either.
I can't remember. I know what they're called. It's just I'm going blank.
I think anybody who's an artist would probably be familiar with them.
It's actually easier to apply. A little bit easier, that is, in a wider area. But these will be easy. The varnish would just peel right off if it dried. I'm not going to let it dry, but... Alright. Maybe I need a thicker brush. With a little bit more bristle on it. See, like this is already dried right here. And I just mix that two together. We do have the heater on, so that's going to... Bottom line, I just want this shiny. So I could just take a big brush and paint over. But we'll lose the detail on some level. And that's why I haven't done it.
Megan Osborne is here.
Hi, Megan.
And says, sort of like a silicone spatula brush.
Yes. Ugh, goodness.
You know what? I'm going to look this up.
It's on my Amazon. They use them for pastels, pottery, nails, and I can't believe I've gone blank on them. Definitely seal your wood first. That I'm seeing a big difference. I know it'll be a big difference. It'll apply better. Seal the wood first. Just a couple of coats, and it can just be spray coats. Doesn't have to be anything heavy. I wouldn't go with your final, like, I'm done with everything, varnish, and then let's see what happens if I just paint a whole arm. Let's see what happens.
Well, actually, they're called paintbrushes. They're called.
No. That's not the word I'm looking for. Can I see that? Good. Slide down. That's not the word I'm looking for. Go down the description. Prep description. Let's see what happens.
Ideal silicone brush tips.
There's another word for them.
I'm looking.
And see now the Pearlex is going to show up brighter on the burn area.
Silicone sculpting tool.
Okay, keep going.
Clay shaping, modeling.
I think it's normally just called a silicone shaper.
Silicone shaper.
Yeah. Oh, that's just a mess.
You're right. Shapers.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's a mess. So what we're going to try
Shapers.
to do.
They're shapers. That's what they are. So. All right.
Let's see what happens. This is just a tad bit of water that I wiped off.
Let's see.
Don't like it.
She had a message and she retracted it. I was looking up that.
She may want to she may be retyping it.
Ah.
Or she's going to yell at me. Let's see here. See, some of it's already dried. Yeah, see, this is all dry because we're using such a thin coat. You could also use, I'm trying to think what would be, anything clear and water-based. So you could even use acrylic and add some of the powder to the acrylic. And what you're just doing is making the paint shiny. Let's see here. Yeah, see, I don't like covering the burn with it. Oh well. Oh, what you gonna do? I've already. But had I varnished my piece, it would have removed it a lot easier. Yep, not liking it. No.
Oh, she edited it. That's what she did.
Yeah.
You were right.
That's two in a span of what, 2-3 minutes? Good thing is I never get tired.
No, you don't, do you?
Mm-mm. Yeah, I just made a total mess. How embarrassing. Let's back it off and see how it looks on camera, because that always... See, remember, I can't burn now.
Anywhere where you put that?
No, I'm done burning. I've already signed it. I'm just looking to see... I made a mess of this. Now I could thin this out. I've been using water to thin it out, but I can thin it out with varnish. My finger itches. Sorry. Why does it itch? You know how sometimes the inside of your finger itches on the side? For no reason?
I do.
No, that's just what happened. Alright, I think we might add a tad bit of varnish. Just a couple of drops. And I will have to use soap and water to clean the brush out. But what I've got is a cup of water that my brushes are sitting in so that nothing dries on it. So I thinned it out with some more varnish. Let's see if it looks a little bit better. Because at this point, this is just an experiment. I'll probably still varnish it just to see the final effect. But this is one that it's not going anywhere. Yeah. Now, I could try, and the keyword is try, to brush on the pigment without a binding factor, and that's what the varnish is a binding factor. But I believe the dark burn is going to repel a bit of it because it's smooth.
Mm.
But we can give it a try and see what happens. I do say practice with this technique first before you do it directly on your burning. Figure out the color. Just do like a quick, on a scrap piece of wood, a quick burn swatch and see how the color that you've picked out works with the burn. And see if you even like it before you do it. Because if you don't like it and you decide not to do it, well, you haven't messed anything up like I have.
Well, like you said, you're experimenting, so.
Yeah. I'll just keep telling myself that. Doesn't mean I'm not having a difficult time.
Well, I think we all have a difficult time at some point.
Well,
that's part of the artist experience.
Alright, so over here I've used less pigment. And that's on this arm. We're not seeing it as much. Okay. So now we know. Well, I'm here. I'm going to try to brush and see what happens. I have to be careful with this because, let me see here. I got some paintbrushes over there. Can I have the white one that's pointing at you? Yep, that'll work.
I got it first time.
You did.
You saw it here first, chat.
Make sure the brush
Normally it's like that one, and you're like, no, more left. And then I'm like, that one, and you're like, your other left. And I'm like, that one, and you're like, no, that's not a paintbrush.
I'm going to shake it and put some on the lid and the inside because it'll be easier if it works to pull from the lid instead of directly. Now this is the gray lavender. I thought it was pretty, so we'll see. I'm just going to take some dry powder. Okay, it is sticking. Now when I would go to varnish this, it'll have to be a spray varnish first. Let's see. And I'm just kind of dry brushing it around, kind of blending it. What we don't know is how the wood will look. Excuse me. How the wood will look once it's sprayed. So we'll just put some shiny around here. I don't know how well is the camera picking up. It's actually very mute on the shininess. You have to keep adding more. And we'll see. But because this is dark, it will stand out more. And the reason I chose this brush is because when I go to paint something later, if I don't clean this brush really good, it's going to have the mica powder in it. And it's going to add that to whatever I'm doing. But I'm less likely to use this brush, so that's why I chose it.
Spence is asking if did it soak into the wood?
No. The varnish is just the way the varnish normally is. So we got some sparkle. I don't know how well. Let's go darker. Why not? And these are the closest winter colors I had. So that's a lot on the brush. I'm going to actually use the lid and tap it off a little bit. Those who wear makeup will have a good idea of what I mean by tapping off. Alright. But soaking into the wood, it's no different. It's the varnish, so... But the dry powder, no. It's just laying right on top. It's very loose. And we're just going to spread it around. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, I think, go over the little snowflake. Because I'll have to finish this one so it doesn't look so bad. But let's go over the little one and see what happens. We're learning, peoples. I'm just making a mess. I don't do good with making messes. So let's see here. It actually kind of... Any place where there's kind of a darker burn that's maybe not working quite as well, it fills it in. I like that. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm still not seeing it. And I think that's mainly because of the wood being burnished. Let's try tapping. See if I can get it to attach to anything. And I can make it kind of splotchy, so it looks more artistic-y. Because basically what I've done with that varnish is made an ink. A permanent ink. Let's tap some in here. So I'd have to be careful touching this over here, because it's just going to wipe off. But once I spray it, it'll be totally fine. So let's kind of make it look like maybe there's some wind pushing these guys around.
How are you going to do that?
I'm just going to make a mess. Let's see if it works.
Well, that's what I always do.
But I'm not used to working this way.
Well, welcome.
Oh no, it's driving me nuts, so...
Spence says, if you don't like it in some spots, you can scratch it off, maybe?
Again, it's varnish. This isn't. I can just wipe this dry powder off. I can just wipe that off.
And Spence says, perfectionists have a hard time making a mess.
Yes. Especially on camera. If I was off camera, where I don't have to worry about anybody seeing and going, what the world? Yeah, that's a word. World. Is she doing? I was good.
I know.
I know Josh was here. I was good. Let's see here. It's a little shinier. Then I wouldn't have to stress about it. Alright, let's add another color, because why not? Should we do blue? I got blue pulled out.
Well, I would say blue. I like blue, but Chad hasn't responded yet.
So this is true blue. It's got a little purple in it, so that's why I cut it out.
Teresa wants to know, does Pat do Black Friday specials?
No. Not that I know of.
She needs some pins.
Not that I know of.
Knowing Pat, I would say that he's probably opposed to Black Friday.
I don't know.
Which I actually am kind of too. I don't like it. I don't like the dog-eat-dog mentality of Black Friday.
No.
Like, I understand, like, hey, here's some deals, and that's cool because we're trying to clear out our inventory, but I don't like the, here's some deals, now fight to the death for them.
Yeah.
That's barbaric.
Huh. The blue doesn't look bad.
It's barbaric, I tell you.
I thought the blue was going to be too...
Wait, when did Amy Hess come in?
Hey, Amy!
I think she just came in just now, but I just want to make sure that I didn't... No, she just came in.
Let's make it shiny. Let's make it look like it's shining in the background. Almost like a star. You know what I don't like? The beams, but it's so subtle. I'm just making a mess at this point. Let's see here. I will definitely take a picture of this once I get it sealed and post it in group so we can see. Actually, no, that's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do, what time is it? Oh.
It is 11:42.
Shoot. Well, no, I can do this.
Time flies when you're having
I can do this because of what I'm doing. I can do this.
What are you doing, Valerie?
What I'm going to do is I am going to take... this is going to be hard. I'm going to have to get up to do what I'm about to do.
Do you need me to get up?
No. I'm going to have to go outside the studio real quick to do this.
Oh, are you spraying?
Yep. I'm going to spray real quick.
All right. So we're doing...
Just so we can see.
So we're doing special coffee and...
spray.
Fumes.
Yep.
Get ready for this to be very interesting. And now, on a very special drawing with fire.
So what I normally do is I take a box and I actually put my burning inside the box propped up. That way I can have it straight up and down. And then make sure I'm happy with that before I spray it. What happens if I wipe?
Mm.
Let's do a little wiping. I can always add more. So
Spence says on Boxing Day they do. Oh, wait. No, it's a bunch of chat.
Alright.
It's starting to look like snowflakes in a snowstorm.
That's what I'm trying. Well, at this point.
And
What?
Teresa says they do fight. Spence says on Boxing Day they do. Okay, so that was.
This is what I'm using to spray real quick. And it's just so you can see. I'm not going to do any full on. I don't want to spray half of it because then this one's always a pain to get off. There we go. I'm going to have to step outside to do a little dance for them.
I will give them my full attention.
I'm actually going to go outside on the porch real quick to do this.
Alright. I'll give them a play-by-play of what's happening. Alright.
Door closed.
Valerie is closing the airlock to the igloo. Now she's opening the exterior security door. Oh my, there's a polar bear. Okay. She's fighting with a polar bear. Oh, that's a judo chop. It's a judo chop. Oh. Okay. Alright, the polar bear's backed off. She's looking around. She's spraying. She's still spraying. I'm not sure what's going on right now. It's all very intense. I can't see much. Is that a pack of timber wolves? Get inside, Valerie! Get inside before it's too late! Oh my god, Valerie, run! Close the door!
Are you cold?
Oh,
I'm hot.
okay. She closed the door. She sealed it. Crisis averted.
You're about to get stoned here at this point. I'm sealing us in here with off-gassing.
That's good. It's better that than the pack of timber wolves.
Okay, I'm going to have to let this sit for a minute before I can even handle it.
Oh my.
It stayed.
Woohoo!
I told you.
There's a party in here.
But I can't touch it yet. Well, I can touch the side.
We may not be able to stream for too much longer.
I know.
That's
you're
pretty
really
intense, and I am very susceptible to this.
Yes, you are.
I am.
All
Oh
right.
god, and I've been having special coffee as well.
I am going
Help
to...
me, chat.
You're his only
This is
hope.
going to be bad.
What I'm going to do, because I don't want it sticking to my easel. There we go. I'm going to pull this up in my garage.
Well, it actually gave it a nice, lovely depth of color.
Alrighty. Of course, as it dries, it's not going to,
Oh my lord.
But, what do I meant to do?
That was intense.
I know. And that's just the UV spray.
Okay.
I'm turning off the lights so that we can see it better.
Okay.
So, it did stick to the dark background, but I could wipe it down so it wasn't as bright.
I'm feeling just a little bit woozy.
I will finish painting that in just to see, and then I'll do another coat when it's finished. But the dark background, I'm happy with that.
Hey,
And-
Amy, when you have to fight polar bears and timber wolves, you have to use what you
What
have
are you
on hand.
talking about?
Huh? I'm talking about that time that you went outside. Remember, like 5 minutes ago?
Yes.
And you went outside, and then you went outside the security door, and then the polar bear attacked you,
Ah,
and then there was a pack of timber
is
wolves.
that what happened to me?
Well, you were there. You
Oh.
tell me.
Okay. What I'm going to do, because while this is wet, is where I'd want some more, I can...
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Just be careful and don't breathe this in. I just realized it's really micro.
Oh my.
It's very tiny.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Sorry, I just realized it. Maybe do this outside.
Maybe.
With a mask.
Don't do like we do.
Yes.
Hmm.
This is the antique silver.
This is tarnishing my safety record. I'm just
You'll
letting
live.
you know. What are you actually doing there? I can't see.
I'm just taking a little bit of the powder.
Is it
and
going on?
Yeah, it's...
Because I really can't see that.
You can see it more up here at the
see
top.
a little, yeah. Maybe.
That, to me, I actually kind of think it looks better. And because the varnish that I sprayed on is wet, this will stick. So this is another way you could apply it.
Okay.
If you just wanted a little bit. Spray your wood and then just kind of... I'm not even touching it. I'm just picking up a little bit. And this is like if you were doing watercolors or acrylic, where you would do splotches. That's what I'm doing with it.
Oh, okay.
That's it. The silver, because I do like the... Let's put a little bit more on the brush. My studio's gonna be covered in this stuff. Alright. So I will put a photo up after I've played with it and messed it up and whatnot. I'll put a photo up. We'll all laugh at it.
I don't know if there's going to be any laughing necessarily.
Yeah. Let's see here. So let me see if I can carefully try. Yeah, I can't right now. Does that look like I got a fingerprint right there?
Is it?
No, it's the...
it just looks like a blotch of the powder.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I like that. I like the little shiny. What do you think, chat? I mean, no. Well, Goha's laughing.
They're laughing at my art.
They're all gonna laugh at you. Andrea says, looking good. Hey, it's kicking in. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's see here. Let's see if... Let's see here. What color? Yeah, I want more silver. Why not?
Why not indeed, Valeria?
I already made a mess.
Might as well.
Might as well. Go big or go home. Oh, wait a minute. I'm already home.
Yeah. So we just go home?
We just go big.
We're
That's
home.
it.
We
are
out
big.
of options. We can only go big.
That's right.
Damn it.
Let's see here. And it'll start drying. And then I'll just stop. And the next time I spray, if I want more, I'll do this again.
Okay.
I had no intention of doing any of it.
You do you, boo.
It doesn't look anything like what I wanted in my head.
Well, sometimes that's what happens with art, but it still looks
See,
good.
I think that side looks better than...
I think it looks good. Spence says, I like how it's looking. It's starting to look like snowflakes in a snowstorm. I agree. And I like to see you experiment with stuff and go out into the frontier of art.
You act like I don't do that.
Well,
Actually, I don't do it very often.
You don't do it as often. But I think that it's a good practice for everybody because then you learn things like that you never would have learned before.
Alright, this is the white. Let's go for it.
Go ahead, says, I'm laughing with you guys. You two are awesome. I appreciate that.
See, it may be... Yeah. It's getting dry. So, at this point, I would just be wasting pigment. So I'll go ahead and stop.
True that.
Don't want to waste the pigment. These are like $5 for one of these, but they should last a long time. As long as you're not like me and wasting it. So I'll finish. See, I like the smaller over here. Yeah. We got any questions? I made a total mess out of this.
Looks good. Snowflake,
Thank
snowflake,
you.
snowflake, 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 snowflake. Amy Hess says, love the sparkles.
Yeah, they're fun. I would say definitely seal the wood with whatever you're gonna mix the pigment with in the varnish. Use the same varnish, or this archival spray, or working fixative. But this is meant for acrylic, watercolor. Though it does say oil, but I've had no problem using this and putting my regular varnish over that I was mixing with the polyacrylic.
Okay.
Or use a spray of the same brush on that you're using. Then you'll be totally safe and don't have to worry about any of that. Practice, because it takes a little bit of finesse.
Spence said, well, Josh says, yeah, it's looking really nice. And Spence
Thank
says,
you, honey.
Thank you, Val, because seeing you take risks helps those of us who would never try to.
I gotta remember that.
Spence correct himself because he misspelled would. But you know what? I kind of like that. Never would try to. Maybe it's just the fumes, but I approve of that pun.
Well, considering
Even if it was unintended.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have put some in here, but that I like that.
Blame it on.
Don't like that.
Blame it on the fumes.
Don't like that. I think I like it better tapping it on than brushing it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, this is already drying, but it dries within 15 minutes. But you're not supposed to do anything with it for 2 hours. So I'll play with it some more, and I may have to use some white ink to fix. Because maybe the shiny is only worth being on the back side, on the background. Maybe that's it. Yep. But yeah, it's already getting dry to the touch. So tapping any more of the pigment's not going to do any good.
Well, how long does it take to dry, do you think? I mean, totally. Like, where you'd be like, it's not off-gassing.
2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
So, if we send, because I know you're sending ornaments to some of your... I mean, ow. I mean...
He deserved it. I promise he deserved it.
I thought that was common.
No!
I just made it up. It's a lie.
It was a secret.
I regret nothing. I'm sorry. But to our family.
No, it's too late because I already reacted to you, so they already know.
It kind of hurts.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to hurt. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was. Because Spence is in here, Andrea's in here, Teresa's in here.
Well, that's because they're lovely people.
Mm-hmm. And I asked them a specific question, and now you gave it away.
I blame the fumes.
I
blame the fumes.
It away.
I blame the
Gave
fumes.
it away.
I blame the fumes,
I'm gonna
chat.
pout now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll make you. Turkey sandwiches.
No, you're the turkey person.
Oh, what are we having for lunch then?
Turkey.
Excellent.
We don't have...
Oh, now it's happening. Oh, God. All right.
I think we gotta be done.
Goha says, thanks, Valerie, for sharing and taking all the risks with the polar bears, too.
Absolutely. So we will see you on Tuesday. There will be a special announcement on Tuesday, so please make sure to join us. And don't forget that you're something. What are you? Say it with me. You're awesome. You can do this. Why? Because you're a pyro artist.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful rest of your, well, I guess weekend.
Yep.
And we will see you on Tuesday.
True that.
Bye.
Word.
You told them.
I'm sorry.
You told them.
I was honest.
You told them.
It was an honest thing.
You told them.